How many times have you been asked the question, hey, how's business going? And what was your response? It was probably something along the lines of, hey, operations is going really good, we're delivering really great results, but we need more sales. We would love to have more sales. I think every business owner at some point would love to have more sales. So by the end of this video, I'm going to give you 4 magic, powerful words that's going to help you to increase your sales significantly. And I'm going to show you a proven way right now in the next 10 minutes or so that's going to show you the fastest way to grow your business and increase your sales. So what is that way? Well, I'll tell you by sharing with you a short story. Now, I had a client, her name is Abigail Onuru. Now, Abigail was a fairly successful property investor and coach. But when she came to me, she said, Jazz, I'm doing fairly well in my business. I'm making about £30,000 a month, but here's the challenge. I'm overworking, I'm stressed out. Sales is really, really challenging. I know that I can break through and create way more value in the marketplace, help a lot more people, but I'm a very small team, I'm pretty much myself, and I don't necessarily want to grow a huge team. And I said, perfect. The fastest way to scale your business is through a webinar presentation. So let's write that down. Now you might be thinking, Jazz, what is a webinar presentation? A webinar presentation is quite simply when you get a lot of people in a room at the same time. Why is that important? Because imagine you're on sales right now. Right? And I don't know what point you're at in your business journey, but I know that you're in sales. I know that you're selling something. You're selling a product, you're selling a service, you're selling some sort of influence. Here's how most people sell. They sell one-on-one on calls or one-on-one in person. Now, one-on-one sales, of course, works. It's been working for thousands of years. But here's the problem. How many people can you talk to in a one-on-one sales call? 1. Now, a really good salesperson will speak to about 8 customers per day or have high-level good conversations with 8 customers per day. And in some industries, there's more, some industries, there's less, but 8 is about fairly typical. And that means that a really good salesperson is probably going to come away with maybe even 5 sales a day. Now, let's say your service is £1,000. So that means each salesperson makes £5,000. But here's the challenge that you have with salespeople, and here's the challenge that you have with one-on-one sales, is that one person can only make up to a certain level of revenue per day. I don't care how hard you work. You know that American hustle culture? Yeah, just work harder. Start at 5 a.m., finish at 5 a.m., never stop, never sleep, never put the... I mean, it's just pathetic, right? Because so many of us know now, we're aware of our bodies and our physical capabilities, and irrespective of how hard we work, there are only a certain number of hours in the day. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but Jazz, I can just hire more salespeople. Salespeople come with what? Problems. Problems. Hey, broke up with my girlfriend last week. Hey, massive problem. Can't sell this week. Really, really sorry. Or you just noticed that there was a revenue spike and then there was a revenue dip. It comes like up and down like a yo-yo because humans are humans. They go through stuff in their life, and relying on salespeople and retaining those salespeople, they want more commissions, which means that that £5,000 becomes significantly less in terms of profit for the company and so much more. So you might be asking the question, Jazz, what do we do instead? Well, when I met Abby, I said, Abby, have you ever done a webinar? She said, nope, never done a webinar. I said, no problem. What I'm going to walk you through is a framework on how to sell lots of people. Let's draw a little box in here of little people, right? These are all these people. These are 100 people that can see you all at once, and you can present to them all at one time and share with them exactly who you are, what you do, and how you help. Why is that important? Because the likelihood is that you right now are selling a service, and that service is not visible. Your service, it's not like an iPhone, right? You can't see it, you can't walk into an iPhone shop, touch it, feel it, play with the features, play with the gadgets. It's a service, which means that it's invisible. So they can't see it. So therefore, in order to sell it, they need to understand it, which means that in order for them to understand it, you need to present the value. You need to, this is exactly what Steve Jobs did in terms of creating Apple and creating the iPhone. And he created had a massive influence on creating a £1 billion company. How did he do it though? He would cue the audience up. He would then reveal his magic new iPhone or the iPhone 15 or the whatever number it was. Yes, I know that he didn't. Yes, I know. But you get the idea. He would reveal the iPhone thing. He would show it to thousands of people all at once, and thousands of people will queue up to the stores to buy. That's exactly what you've got to do with your business. So I showed Abby how to do this, and what she started to do, I said, look, well, present to me and show me what you would walk through in your webinar. So she started looking at her screen, and she did the number one mistake that most business owners make. So I'm going to write this down here so it etches into your brain. Stop looking at your slides. Your slideshow will be the biggest hindrance to your business and to your webinar presentation if you are not careful and if you don't use it meticulously well. Because if you're always looking at the slides, that means that you are not connected to the audience, and the audience are disconnected from you. And if they're disconnected from you and they're looking at you, looking at your slides, then there is a disconnect in revenue, which means what? You're losing sales without realizing. So I said to Abby, stop looking at your slides, scrap that, use the premium value presentation method, and I walked her through all of the tools, the techniques, and the tactics of how to structure that presentation, what to say, and how to say it, so that she is given influence, not just information. And then she came back a couple of weeks later. She said, Jazz, I did my first presentation. I made £12,872 in just 90 minutes. Wow, amazing, good. So for a first presentation, pretty good. So what I did was, and that's big reason, is because she stopped doing this. Stop looking at your slides. If you're ever on stage and you've been asked to speak because you're good at what you do, start practicing presenting and doing it in a world-class manner. So stop looking at your slides and start understand, like on your PowerPoint or on your Canva, you have the image of what's coming next. Hey, if you like this video, you're gonna absolutely love the business growth community. It's where I give you daily tips on how to accelerate your business growth, and you're gonna be able to network with world-class entrepreneurs and business owners just like you, some of whom could even become your business partners or joint ventures later down the line. Plus, you'll get access to world-class trainings and insights to help you accelerate your business growth faster than ever before every single day. So go ahead, tap or click the link below this video now and get yourself immediate access. When you present, by the way, don't have this mistake of looking at either your slides, or don't make the mistake of using text on your images. If I see this, I'm going to get the next person I see doing this. I'm going to strangle them and say, watch my YouTube videos and subscribe. So if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and do that right now. But don't have text on your videos, on your presentation, because you want to have images. Why? Because an image paints 1,000 words. And that way, the audience stay connected to you, and they stay understanding what your message is, and they get way more clarity without that sort of dissonance of trying to figure out what your slides specifically say. You should know, and your words come from here, your heart, not from your head. When you do that powerfully, you're able to do what Abby did and make £12,872 in a single hour. But what did we do on the next week? Well, the next week, when she said that to me, I said, right, let me review your presentation. And then I gave her some bespoke techniques and tactics to use on the next one to increase the conversions, what to say, how to say it, when to say it. And then from there, she was able to do £20,000 in her next presentation, which is amazing, right? You're probably thinking, how do you do £20,000 in a presentation? Imagine you've got 100 people in your audience, or 100 of your ideal clients, said better, and of those, 20 people buy, 20 people pay at £1,000 each. Very basic framework, very basic numbers. Now, if you have a £10,000 service, whew, now remember, I'm going to give you 4 words that will change your business if and when you do it right at the end of this training. So, 100 people in a room, 20 people buy, at £1,000 equals £20,000. Thank you very much. And then she does that again the next week, the next week, the next week. Bam, boom shakalaka, £80,000 in a single month. Now, it might not be exactly £20,000 every single week. It might be 19 or it might be 21. But overall, she was able to generate £80,000 in a single month and do that fairly consistently, to the point where I had to give her a 7-figure award at our event that year because she made over £1 million simply by mastering presentation. And she had no idea about how to do a webinar presentation before that. Imagine that. From zero to over £1 million in 12 months. Why? Because she mastered this one particular skill. And the great thing is she's a property consultant originally. It's about 2 years ago. And now she's gone on to start a new business where she's creating massive success and creating amazing levels of traction because she mastered that one skill. So if you're thinking about what is the fastest way to grow my business, is it AI transformation? Is it marketing? Is it this? Is it that? Is it hiring a salesperson? Is it hiring? No. It's just do a webinar and have a very small team, you and a VA and maybe somebody else, depending on how big you are, and then master that particular skill of doing a world-class presentation. But check this. This is where the real money is made. Now, imagine you don't have a £1,000 offer. Imagine your offer is £10,000. So now you've got a £10,000 offer. Maybe you're like an Ashley Blake, you're a consultant, or you work with DEI, or you work with transformational leadership, or you work with corporate organizations. £10,000 is like the entry level at this kind of industry. So £10,000 is your minimum offer. And then you have 100 people in the room, and you have 20 people buy, or 20 companies buy, and now you have 10 times 20, now you have £200,000 in a presentation. How long does it take for you to do a presentation, by the way? An hour, 45 minutes, 35 minutes, an hour and a half. Sometimes you can do presentations for an entire day. Like one of my clients, Ashley, he did a presentation for an entire day. He brought some amazing guest speakers to draw his ideal audience in, because his ideal audience is a little bit tricky to reach. So he brought in some guest speakers who they would love to see. And then he came up in the middle of the presentation. He said, hey, my name is Ashley Blake. This is what we do. This is how we help organizations like you in order to access more funding and make more money and make more transformational decisions and blah, 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 and all of this razzmatazz. Hey, if you're interested, come and speak to me and my team at the back of the room. Loads of people came to speak to him and his team at the back of his room. Boom shakalaka. That's how he made over £500,000. Why? Mastering one single presentation. So whether you do it online like Abby did or in person like Ashley did, either way, it will help you to make a lot of money, and it's the fastest way to grow your expert business. Doesn't take long to learn this skill. And that is what we call, ladies and gentlemen, high ticket, high volume. Those are the only 4 words that you should be focused on for the next few months of this year in order to generate hundreds of thousands of pounds for your business. A great man once said, take your goal that is take your 5-year goal and condense it into 5 months. So if your 5-year goal is to, generate £5 million, generate £1 million, generate 10 million, generate 100, whatever it is, condense it into 5 months. But how do you do that and get the result? You get that by selling high ticket, high volume. A lot of people at a high price. Do that well, and you can make millions of additional pounds in revenue and impact way more lives. So if you found that video useful, then you know what to do. Go ahead, subscribe, share this video with someone else who might find it useful so that we can help and impact more business owners just like you. You want to get further guidance, tactics, techniques, and support, daily world-class trainings from me, then go ahead, join the Business Growth Community. The link will be somewhere below this video in the description. Stay well, stay wealthy, and stay winning. I'm Jazz. You're amazing. Tap the link below, and I'll see you soon.